What's up, current and future disc golf addicts? We have a hard-hitting course for you with the UDisc ranked number 5 course in the world, number 2 in the US, and number 1 in Idaho, Caliber Disc Golf in Sandpoint, Idaho. I'm going to be taking along on a round on the short tees, knowing that the course does have plenty of danger with OB and rough off the fairways. We figured that the short tee pads are the right thing to play. Finding myself with a great birdie look on hole 1, but unfortunately putting a little bit back and forth with that slick top on that MVP basket. Really unfortunate to skip that far off that birdie look and ending up walking away with a double bogey. Hole 2, plenty of space to work with, but I unnecessarily pushed that left side with that early release. Fortunately for me, the hole wasn't the longest, meaning that even with this standstill approach, I am able to get up there and sneak past some of those guardian trees for a birdie look in circle 2. Just leaving it a touch high, still looking to build that confidence really on the putt with that unfortunate back and forth on hole 1. Hole 3, we're getting a good look at some of that elevation already with that side slope. I end up leaking my Thunderbird just a little bit off left. Wanted to give it a touch more anhyzer to work through that right side gap and then tail off towards the basket. Approach a lot shorter than I would have hoped for as well. Just catching some more limbs and carding yet another bogey. Hole 4, I have my leopard in my hand, trying to throw it flat off to this left side. Have it slowly drift along with the slope. Fortunately, aiming just a little too far left, putting me in a tricky spot. Shot 2, just trying to make some forward progress here. Very fortunate to end up kicking out of the left side actually. Do have this gap, but with that downhill, this soft harp, even that ends up skipping past the basket with a long look for par, but with those trees, not much I could have done. Hole 5, very short, but again, much steeper than the camera makes it look. And so I'm throwing this rock 3 practically as hard as I can, still barely making it into the circle. And telling myself really to give that extra bit of height on the putter to make sure that it gets there. Hole 6, we're looking at our first par 5. I end up pulling this wraith just a touch, finding myself in a very tricky spot. Barely getting out to the fairway. And again, same thing with that anhyzer release, wanting to match that slope of the fairway, pulling it early right, landing back center. And now we're approaching with my Recco, trying to get towards the basket, but unfortunately end up drifting it off to the right and actually losing it off in the distance. And I don't think this was even found during our time there, so I end up having to pitch out from there. Hole 7, we see a lot of danger early left, and so I'm trying to rely on this Thunderbird again, trying to throw it flat or a little bit of anhyzer and then have it work back to the left. Very fortunate to have it kick out of that, where that could have been instant bogey or even worse if I had to end up fighting out of there. Hole 8, we're looking at one of our first left to right shot shapes. Trying to throw this PA5 flat or a touch of hyzer and let it work right. But I end up pushing it a lot straighter than I would have hoped. Just not a clean release really. And undercommitted putt. Bringing us to hole 9. Really the one thing you can't do is go early left. And my undercommitted shot goes exactly early left. Again, very lucky with the kicks to even find myself on the fairway, leaving myself with this little bit higher hyzer line, trying to work my way for at least an easy pitch up towards the basket, or maybe even a long look. You can already see how much lower the basket is to where I was standing, and that danger to be found, and so my putter just ended up floating forever. And so this little half spin putt, trying to make something happen, but again, not. Hole 10, I'm trying to throw just over this rock off to the right side, but pulling it off the line again and kicking back down. So you can see one guardian tree to miss, and with that sawed-off berg shot, that leaves me with a throw-in attempt to try and save par. Giving it a decent bid, but clearly getting already a little bit frustrated. Hole 11, we have our second par 5 where I'm trying to throw my wraith and have it drift down that right side fairway, but the trees decide otherwise for me. Second shot, this is not the fairway where my disc ends up going. It would have been right side, so I am now actually on the fairway of the next hole, trying to pitch back over the line of trees. Being a shorter par 5, this is actually my birdie putt, believe it or not. And fortunate to have the flagpole there, because this could have skipped a lot further again than where it ended up staying. So on hole 12, which I already found accidentally on the previous hole, trying to throw my rock 3, same story, flat or even a touch of anhyzer, have it drift right, then slowly work its way back. Undercommitted. Very fortunate to even push this far and find myself pin high. That was one that we had to look for a little bit. Hole 13, water hole, early release with that forehand. Very fortunate to carry over the water still, leaving myself with maybe a mid-circle 2 putt. Hole 14, we're looking at our third par 5. Little swampy area in the middle, and I end up same story again, early releasing that defender, just not throwing it well, and frankly way too high, trying to get around that corner, having to pitch almost a little bit backwards to find myself on the fairway. Trying to throw that star wraith that I'm still learning how it flies really on those air shots, pull it right. And now we're looking at some army golf, where we end up right, right, and back left. And now we have this pronounced inside corner defined by these grouping of trees that I was trying to pitch around. And now having to pitch through, but still catching one of the last ones. And slowly but surely making my way towards the basket. And at least happy that one putt was enough there. Hole 15, very tight gap, even though the hole is short. I'm trying to throw this Barsby Roadrunner. Touch of hyzer, thinking that it would flip up and actually behave like a Roadrunner, but I thought wrong. And so ended up tailing off left and hitting one of the fairway trees there. Just having to pitch up for my par. Hole 16, even though it's 360 feet, plays a lot shorter than that, being extremely downhill. Trying to throw my Explorer, touch of hyzer, have it fly straight, but end up pulling it right side. With all the danger on this hole, I wanted to spin my berg up there, hit it before the basket and have it slide up, and did not want to go past that. Hole 17, another shorter par 4, very gettable, but now we're just compounding with the mistakes. Very early release, and now we're playing for par at best. And so a little bit hard to tell on this upshot as far as how far left you needed to move the disc, but but ended up working out perfectly fine. Hole 18, even though the map says it's relatively straight, I am trying to throw a very big left to right moving shot, and if it doesn't come out, fine, but even if it does fade out left, like it actually ended up doing, still a fine spot where I had to get a little bit crafty with a very steep forehand anhyzer, having it fight out and land flat, giving myself another birdie look to try pad my score a little bit, but again with these slick top MVP baskets, skipping very far off and then high left on the comebacker, leaving me with a +10 at caliber disc golf on these short pads. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Thanks for watching.